Greetings. Welcome to Dr. English's Book Lovers Book Club. I'm Dr. English and I teach English. This week I'm going to review I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson. And it was a Stonewall Honor book and a Michael Prince Award winner here. So lovely little award kind of stickers on the front of this book. And I got this from my local library. There's two different branches of my local library. And this was a different one. I love how they have this YA on here. It's really cool. I first of all, I didn't know anything about this book. It was one of the books that my students read last fall. And in a lot of ways, I don't remember even what the conversation was around this book. But I'm like, I can't believe that I didn't remember because I love this book. Of course, my first love as a teenager and going into college at 18 was art. I wanted to be a designer. But I love art history. I love everything about art. I love going to museums to see artwork because I'm just in awe. And this book has art in it, and I absolutely loved it. I could not put this book down. It was, if you're an art aficionado, you will love this book. It is such a quirky book. It's like I just like every time I turn the page, I was like, what is happening? Because there's an element of like the supernatural in it, and there's like this crazy what I'd call a hippie Bible that the grandmother had. And it's just, I laughed out loud. I was just a delight to read this, to see the quirkiness of it. But it's a story of Jude and Noah. They're twins, boy and a girl. That was a little, threw me off a little bit. I always think of Jude as a boy name, but Jude is the girl in this. And they both are very talented artists. Their mother was an art historian. Their dad is like a mathematician. It's the four of them, and it's like there's these pairings, like Jude and her father, they like to swim, and Noah's terrified of the water. Noah's like terrified of so many things. And the other thing about this book that just struck me so much, not only are the characters just really come to life, I feel like I'm in the story, like I just want to be there with them and support them. And I just love how they're so personable and so lovable and so believable. And I love the thing that Jandy Nelson did with this, that there's two storylines and they come together in a way that I didn't expect. I mean, I start to figure it out because I'm like a former Nancy Drew reader, and I was like, oh, I know what's going on. I love that feeling, of course, as a reader. I don't know why. I just always feel like I'm, smarter than everybody else, but that's not true. It's just that I'm just kind of happy. Plus, if you've read a lot of literature in your lifetime, when it complex, classics, you kind of can get an idea of some of those things. But I just thought she did a really good job with it. I was like really pleased with how it came together, and she didn't leave any loose ends at all. And I love that. And a lot of people like some loose ends, and I'm like, no, I don't. I like that she, tried to tie up all the loose ends in the end. But yeah, so Noah, they're both really, really talented, and they both want to get in. Well, Noah really wants to get into this art school. And Jude doesn't think that she's really good enough to be in it. She just, she doesn't feel as close to her mother. Her mother's the art historian, and she doesn't feel like she's good enough to get in. Not like Noah. Noah's just like really gifted. He's always drawing. He's drawing all the time, and but Jude does like sand sculptures of women, and they're extraordinary. And Noah knows it. He's seen them. He's seen her do them and create them. And so they live in California, so they have, they're right there near the beach. And so to me, it's like, wow, what a life they have, that they're right there on the beach and they can hear the ocean. And then there are other people that come into their lives and really impact their lives. And for Noah, it's Brian, who moves in as a neighbor kid and who also goes to a boarding school, and he comes one summer. And Brian has a huge impact upon Noah. And then the other person that comes in that I love very much is Guillermo Garcia. He is a sculptor in stone. And that character is incredible. Also associated with Guillermo is Oscar, and he calls him Oscar. And so there's this language play too that I really like. But there's an unexpected thing, but I figured it out, and I'm like, oh, I know what's going on. And of course, you're reading it through Noah and Jude's perspective, and Noah is the person who discovers this something, and Jude doesn't know until the very end of the book. And but I love how she's made these characters so engaging. It's like Guillermo is like, your artist who's so creative, and he's just like, he has all this fire and passion in him, and it's like he's terrifying. And so Jude wants to have him help her with a sculpture in stone. uh, and so I can't say, I can't say enough good about this. If you like the quirky, I mean, there's always this conversation where Jude is talking with her, with people who are dead that are in her life, and I'm just like, it's like ghosts. And so it kind of leads up to this uh, passage I'm going to share with you. When she goes to see Guillermo about, she wants to do this sculpture. This is a little bit of a long passage, but I really like it. And this is Guillermo talking. This sculpture you have to make. It is for your mother, then? He asks. She is the one you mentioned yesterday. You think if you make this sculpture, she will not be mad at you anymore and she will stop breaking your bowls? This is why you cry when you think I do not help you? Yes, I say. He strokes an imaginary beard, studying me for a very long time, then returns his attention to broken me blob number 6. Okay, but that is not the problem here. Your mother is not the problem. The best part, the most interesting part of this work is the breaks. He touches the final photo with his index finger. The problem here is that you are not here. Some other girl make it all. Maybe, I don't know. He looks at several more blobs. Well, he says. I glance up at him. I didn't realize he was waiting for a response. I don't know what to say. I resist the impulse to step back so I don't get swatted by his hands. I do not see the girl who climbed up my fire escape, who thinks spilled sugar will change her life, who believes she is in mortal danger because of a cat, who cries because I will not help her. I do not see the girl who told me she was as sad as me, who says her angry dead mother breaks her bowls. Where is that girl? That girl. His eyes are blazing into mine. Does he expect an answer? She is not making this work. She is not in this work. So why do you waste your time and everybody else's? He sure doesn't mince words. I take a deep breath. I don't know. That is obvious, he closes the portfolio. You will put that girl in the sculpture you make with me, understand? I understand, I say, except I have no clue how to do that. Have I ever done it? Certainly I haven't at CSA. I think about my sand sculptures, how hard I used to work to get them to look like they did in my head, never getting it. But maybe that's why I was so afraid Mom wouldn't like them. He smiles at me. Good. We will have fun then. I am Colombian. I cannot resist a good ghost story. He taps his hand on the case. I am not sure you are ready for a stone. Clay is kind. It can do anything, though you do not know this yet. Stone can be stingy, ungenerous, like the unrequited lover. It will be more difficult for my mother to break it if it's in stone. Understanding crosses his face. She will not break this sculpture, no matter what it is made of. You will have to trust me on that. You will learn to carve first on a practice rock. Then together we will figure out the best material for this sculpture after I see the studies. Will it be of your mother? Yes, I don't usually do realistic, but then before I know I'm telling him. Sandy asked me if there was something I needed in the world that only my two hands could create. I swallow, meet his eyes. My mom, she was beautiful, really beautiful. My dad used to say she could make trees bloom just by looking at them. Guillermo smiles. I go on. Every morning she used to stand on the deck staring out at the water. The wind would stream through her hair. Her robe would billow behind her. It was like she was at the helm of a ship, you know? It was like she was steering us across the sky. Every day it was like that. Every day I thought that. The image is always somewhere in my mind. Always. I just love that passage at the end of her describing her mother. So I would definitely teach this book. There's a few scenes that might be a little sketchy. I actually am waiting for this book to be made into a movie. This should be made into a movie. I'm going to say, Jandy Nelson, you need to start talking to some movie producers. I would love to see this in film. I would absolutely love to see this in film because it's so bizarre in some ways and so just delightful. So I would teach this book. I definitely would. I mean, you could pair it with some classical piece that includes ghosts and artists, and you would be in good shape. Yeah, and so definitely, yeah, book clubs, any of that group works. Definitely have it on your shelf if you have an art inclined person in your class. They would love this book. So, 5 stars, 2 thumbs up for this by Jandy Nelson. I'll give you the sun. And so next week I'm going to be reviewing In the Wild Light by Jeff Zentner. I think that's correct. And I just read the beginning of this, and I'm like, oh, it's about how you can see different shades of green. Oh, that's green's my favorite color. So I was like, oh, I'm very excited to read this book. But yeah, definitely, I would say I highly recommend I'll Give You the Sun. Thank you for joining me. I look forward to next week. And thanks for being here. Bye.